Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And we are watching Star Trek for the first time. Last time on Star Trek we had the Galileo 7, which was so good.
Yes.
I absolutely loved that.
A big fan of that episode.
Yeah, seriously, if you didn't check out that video yet, go watch that last week. That was a phenomenal episode, and I had nothing but good things to say about it.
Absolutely.
Today we are watching the Squire of Gothos. Or Gothos, or what? I'm assuming it's Gothos.
That sounds like we might be seeing the one image in the last episode's credits and given a title.
Oh, yeah, that's possible. That's possible. The credits give away weird things about future episodes.
They do.
But yeah, so we're about to get into our post-episode thoughts in a minute. Be sure to stick around for that. We're about to watch The Squire of Gothos. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it was alright.
I don't feel strongly about it, really.
No.
Like either way. Like, I'm just... It could be fun, I guess, if you're in the right frame of mind. Like...
Right.
I don't know. It's
like, it
fun.
wasn't bad, but I didn't love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got kind of a fun hook, though. You know, Kirk and Sulu disappearing.
Oh, sure.
And the messages on the screen, like tally-ho and all that. Like, I thought that was fun. It's a fun way to open it.
I mean, plus its ending is equally as mysterious as to what it means.
Yeah, right. Well, it's the whole thing is that it's like a kid just playing games, and that's all that is, you know. And that's when you look back on it, once you know like the twist in the end, like it makes sense, like why Trelane acts the way he does.
Oh, sure.
And Trelane's a fun character.
Oh, yeah, the characterization is fun. The actor was clearly having fun
Yeah,
playing that
yeah,
role.
he was a very fun character to watch, but man, I don't know. I think I just struggled just really getting into this one.
Yeah,
know?
I think so.
Yeah. It's got like this cool like medieval castle setting, and you have this guy named Trelane who's like obsessed with like old Earth culture, and it's fun. Like it's a fun idea, but something about it just isn't quite grabbing me, I think. You know?
Right. I did comment that you've clearly seen too much sci-fi when characters walking around in such a mismatched setting, or it just doesn't faze you.
Yeah, right. We did get a little Man-Trap reference in Trelane's castle. There was the shapeshifter from the Man-Trap.
I mean, it might have just been as simple as that was a costume they had lying around.
Yeah, but it's just a cool idea. Which actually is kind of weird, because I guess it makes it kind of like anachronistic in Trelane's castle of old Earth things, and he just has the shapeshifter from the Man-Trap in there.
Because if I understood it, his whole decor was what he thought modern Earth was.
Yeah. And then and he was like getting all like his facts wrong about like where like Kirk and everyone came from. So there's that. I wrote down on my notes here actually at one point. Trelane is a polite evil wizard. And like that's about it, because he could do like these weird things to them, but he's like very nice about it. But he's still like, he's evil, I guess. Yeah. He's kind of the villain. Like he's effectively
the antagonist. That doesn't mean he's the villain per se.
Yeah, I did actually really like the bit where he like teleports like Kirk outside the castle, and he's like choking on the dust out there.
Yeah, it was good. It
was a cool bit. My God, though. I don't know the actor's name, but whoever played Trelane, or probably just whoever directed this episode, needed to not shoot needed to shoot Trelane playing piano from a different angle.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like you saw like his hands, and he was just like lightly waving them above the keys, and it was like, okay.
Like, listen, just shoot it at a slightly different angle, and you don't see his hands.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a point when like Spock like beams them up into the ship, and like Trelane gets pissy, so he goes up there, and the idea is that his power comes from this device behind a mirror, and Kirk is like, yes, he only has power when he's near that mirror,
or he can't be away from it long. Yeah,
and he like goes up to the ship and like brings like significantly more crew members down to his castle than were there before.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just how talented is Uhura as a character? She can do fucking everything.
Right?
Like, musically, at least.
Like,
we've already seen her sing. She can play whatever that Vulcan guitar thing is, and now she can play piano perfectly. So, sure, I guess.
Or just keep adding. It's like when you add too many abilities to a character.
Yeah. You know, actually, I wish, as Trelane as a character, I would have liked to have seen more of his rivalry with Spock, because when he first meets Spock, he's like, Spock's the evil guy that took these guys away from me. Like, I was having fun with these guys, and Spock beating them up. And there's like this moment where he like threatens Spock, and like I wish that rivalry sort of continued throughout the episode.
Yeah, but clearly they went for the more obvious Kirk v.
Yeah, Kirk versus Trelane. Yeah.
versus Trelane scenario.
Yeah. It was okay. There's a weird bit.
Did you make a note of it?
I did. There's a weird bit when he first brings the crew members down to his castle.
It was mostly the people on the bridge.
Yeah, and he calls Ahura a Nubian prize, and I think that's okay.
Well, I mean, it's not okay, but I think that's the point.
Yeah, it's. Anyway, we meet this yeoman named Teresa Ross, and I don't know. I feel like literally all these characters were Janice in a script at one point.
Probably.
Like we've had like 3 different female yeomans in the past like 3 episodes, and they all could pretty much just be Janice.
They're probably from a production standpoint, they're probably just testing out actresses, see who they like.
I don't know if there will be like an official replacement though, because like it's. I don't know. I feel like they're just gonna keep switching out the character, or at least because these scripts I think probably had Janice in them originally, and they were replaced with different actresses and they gave them different names in the end.
Sure.
But I think like once they get to a point when they're writing scripts without Janice in the show in mind, then we're just not going to see as many female yeomans, you know?
Probably.
Like Janice was probably on the Galileo team last episode.
Which would be a shame though if they don't replace her with another female yeoman.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, unless that just means Ahura plays a bigger role in the show eventually.
I guess we'll have to find out.
That's possible. Yeah. But yeah, actually, I did actually like the bit where Kirk challenges Trelane to the gunfight.
Yeah,
I did like that bit. I mean, we called it like 5 minutes before it happened, but I was like, okay, so they're going into a gunfight. And you're like, he's gonna shoot the mirror. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna shoot the mirror. So I wrote down in my notes before it even happened. I was like,
right.
Kirk shoots mirror, and he did.
As he's actively shooting the mirror, you're writing the word Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk shoots mirror, and it happened. So sure. They all escape, but then the ship keeps getting like pulled back into Gothos' atmosphere.
Yeah,
and so. Kirk goes back down there. He's put on trial, and actually, probably the most well shot scene of the whole episode. Mm-hmm. Kirk's put on trial. There's this great noose silhouette behind him as he's arguing with Trelane. He convinces Trelane eventually to get into a fight with him, or as it's initially put, like a game of hide and seek.
Yeah.
But Kirk eventually gets his sword, and it goes back and forth. There's a bit where Kirk gets a stick. And he beats on him like Return of the Jedi style, where Trelane's defending himself on the ground. Great William Shatner stunt. He latched onto a branch and swung into Trelane.
Yeah, honestly, it was good.
I really like that bit. It was just a cool stunt. But yeah, he gets him in the end, and then Trelane is called away by his parents, who are gods.
Yeah, I mean they're effectively gods.
Yeah, and Kirk turns to them and goes, "Okay, so who are you?" And they're like, "Sorry for our kid. We got him back. We'll get you back to your crew." It's like, that didn't answer the question. You guys are basically gods, right?
And they're like, "See ya."
yeah. They just wave him away. But I mean, whatever. Okay, sure.
They basically promised not to kill him just long enough to get back to his ship.
Yeah. And that's that. That's Squire of Gothos. It's a fine episode, I think.
It's okay.
I didn't have any big issues with it. I just wasn't especially invested for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the mishmash of setting and characters.
I feel like that could be cool because I've liked whenever the show has sort of mixed its sci-fi settings with its more earthly ideas. I like the setting of Miri. Miri's my least favorite episode so far, but I like the setting of Miri. I think that's cool.
I think
Shore Leave was cool for those concepts, you know.
I think specifically Miri could have been better.
Yeah.
Not even without changing the core concept much.
Mm-hmm, yeah. But yeah, I guess that's about it. It's a fine enough episode.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I said at the start of this segment, I didn't love it, didn't hate it.
Yeah, about the same here. So be sure to join us next week when we watch more Star Trek: The Original Series. Until then, this has been Joey Morgan.
Jacob.
Goodbye.